good morning, folks, I should say. It is morning. Thanks very much for tuning in to KasimsWeatherWatcher.com. This is my latest UK weather video. Looking out at the cold spell, so we are looking out at the cold spell. Now, many of you have been asking about the Amazon shop. Well, that's currently out of charge, and we won't see any items until spring, where we have a spring sale on. So the spring sale of items will be introduced during spring, so you'll be able to buy your spring weather items, and then we'll have another sale in summer, so you'll be able to buy your summer items during summer. And then during the autumn the same thing goes, and then during Christmas we'll do it all again with the Christmas Amazon shop reopening during 2014. So just none of that for a second. We just want to say that this is a cold spell update, so we're looking at the cold weather that's on its way. It may last for a week or two during the end of January into February, and conditions are going to be decisively cold with the risk of some sleet or snow in places. Now, before we get to the wintry and cold weather, we've got still Atlantic to deal with, and this is a chart for yesterday. Yesterday we had a deep trough over the, well, not a deep trough, we had a trough over the country. That brought outbreaks of rain and strong winds. Today, a slightly different scenario. Instead of the widespread rain and winds we had yesterday, we've got more of a localised effect. So we're bringing down bands of showers from northwest to southeastwards. The highest areas at risk for the showers today are Scotland, northwest England, running down the western coast, Irish Sea coast, so including Wales, southwest England, and perhaps moving further east. But those showers strong, heaviest out west, and winds will be strong for all areas, perhaps gusting to 40 or 50 miles per hour. And a cool day too, feeling fresh on western facing coast with winds perhaps 50 or even 60 miles per hour. So do watch out for those wind gusts if you are out and about. And then by Sunday we do it all again. We bring a first band of heavy rain and strong winds through the country. Those winds will be gusting to 60, perhaps even 70 miles per hour across some of the hills, and we'll bring in some very heavy rain, and that may just exacerbate the flooding problems across parts of the Somerset levels and also Wales, and we'll bring in some mountain snow for the Pennines and the Scottish mountains. And once the first band of heavy rain and strong winds has cleared the country, we will bring in more showers, and those will affect many areas of the country. And an occluded front will lead to some very heavy snow across the Scottish mountains, and also some very strong winds indeed, those gusting to 70 or 80 miles per hour across west Scotland and big parts of Northern Ireland. Now, as we go through into Sunday evening and into Monday 27th of January, we bring this air low pressure slightly further southeastwards, and on the south flank of this air low pressure we do get uppers down to -5, so during Sunday evening we could turn the showers increasingly wintry across parts of central and southern England, particularly across northern England, the Wales and the Midlands, and parts of the island, not the island. These showers may be wintry, especially on the hills, although slightly warm up air temperatures across Scotland and Northern Ireland would lead to the showers being mainly of rain and sleet. Now, as we go through towards Tuesday, not much changes really. Low pressure stays in charge, so we bring in yet more bands of rain, perhaps some sleet, perhaps even some snow across the high ground. And it's another cool feeling day too, with this low pressure bringing in slightly cooler air as it starts to cool down, as this cool easterly wind starts to feed into the air of low pressure, so it could be turning some of the rain into sleet, and it's going to be feeling very cold, although the wind's not quite as strong as recent days, so I think winds will be a little bit lighter during Tuesday. As we move through towards Wednesday, well then the weather becomes very interesting. This little pocket of 5 to 8 dam line here means that this precipitation may turn increasingly to sleet or snow as we push the area of low pressure southwards. But two things are uncertain: A, how heavy it will be, which will determine whether it will fall snow or not, and B, also whether we'll see such a strong easterly wind. We may see a lighter easterly wind, which will mean that some of the rain may just stay as rain. And another cool day on Wednesday too, with temperatures of 4 or 5 in the south, just 2 or 3 degrees Celsius in the north. So you can see with those temperatures around the sort of 3 or 4 degrees mark, it's very uncertain as to whether we'll see the rain turning to snow or not. Now by Thursday, well, the ECMWF is a bitterly cold day, bitterly cold. We've got this light easterly wind feeding in across southeast England, this bringing with it some outbreaks of light sleet, perhaps even some snow. Elsewhere it's another dry day, but it is bitterly cold as we've got such a slack flow, and we may see some fog patches, and where those fog patches linger during Wednesday we could see temperatures struggling to get much above freezing. Let's go through towards Friday the 31st of January. A very interesting scenario setting up for the end of the week. In fact, bringing the cold air remaining over the country, but as the moisture meets the cold air, we could turn that rain increasingly to snow for Friday. I've been going on about this for quite a while now. It does look like we're going to see some winter conditions developing through Friday, although the detail of just how much will fall and where is very uncertain. So I'll keep you attuned with the developments for Friday as we go through the days ahead, and thank you very much for staying tuned. And as we go through towards the weekend, some very uncertain outlook. This is a little bit dubious, but the ECMWF wants to do it all again and bring another easterly wind in, but that far out I think we can say things a little bit uncertain. And finally, having a look at the temperatures, this is the GFS ensemble, so this is all the GFS runs put together into the ensemble. As you can see at the moment, it is quite mild, temperatures hanging around the seasonal average for the time of year, and we've got some outbreaks of rain. Although as we go through the days ahead, excuse me, we will drop temperatures off significantly, and that's when we bring in the risk of sleet or snow through next week as the low pressure dives southwards, and that risk continues on into the start of February too. Although the GFS ensemble wants to see a slight increase in temperature through February, but again, that is very uncertain and quite a long way off. I think we will remain cool for the start of February, although just how long it lasts is exceptionally uncertain. So thank you very much for tuning in to KasimsWeatherWatcher.com on this showery Sunday. It is looking to decide something interesting for next week in terms of some sleet or snow. The first batch of winter weather comes through Sunday evening in terms of the form of wintry showers, some sleet or snow across the high ground across central areas, and then through Monday, a slightly quieter day in terms of any winter weather developing, and then into Tuesday and Wednesday we see that risk as the low pressure pushes southeastwards of something tasty developing on the back edge of that low pressure. It turns very cold through Thursday, and then into Friday again as the moisture meets the low pressure, the cold weather. We could see yet more sleet and snow, although that's very a long way off, so the detail is very uncertain. But before that, we've still got a showery day to contend with today, with outbreaks of rain across the country, and that rain will push southeast. It was a cool feeling day too with strong westerly winds. Then tomorrow we bring a batch of heavy rain and strong winds through the country, and then we see wintry showers and very strong winds returning into Scotland. Those winds may be damaging, with snow on the highest of hills, and then through Sunday evening we go into the start of the cool weather. So thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us as Weather Watcher Kasim on both Facebook and Twitter. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you later.